I am very excited to show you what I have just gotten. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I've been saving it to show to everybody what it is that I've gotten. So what I got was actually a Christmas gift. Thanks, honey. And it is the Victorio steam canner. So what's a steam canner, you may be asking? The steam canner actually has the same use as your water bath canner. They're also known as atmospheric steam canning. So it's used to preserve your high acid foods, such as your jams, your jellies, your pickles, your relishes, your pickled beets, all things that are high acid foods, your fruits, and things like that. Now, steam canning isn't necessarily a new technique for home preservation for food. The studies hadn't really been done to know if they were safe. So the University of Wisconsin, in collaboration with the National Center for Home Food Preservation, conducted lots of studies through the last years, and finally a few years ago, steam canning was finally approved as a safe method for preserving high acid foods as long as certain criteria were met, such as timing it correctly, only doing your high acid foods, and using recipes as well that are safe for steam canning. I've never used a steam canner before, but I do have a good friend of mine, who is actually a master food preserver who fairly recently, maybe in the last 6 months or so, got one and cannot stop raving about it. I put it on my Christmas wish list, kept my fingers crossed, and yes, Santa got it for me. And now I'm really excited to give it a try and see how I like it. So I'm going to open it up because I haven't done that yet. One of the advantages of the steam canner is that it uses just a little bit of water compared to a water bath canner. So if my calculations are correct, what will happen in this case is that it's going to be a lot faster to process your foods in a steam canner than a water bath canner, because you have to bring like that huge quantity of water in your water bath canner to a boil, whereas this, it's a very limited quantity. So it's exciting taking it out of the box and showing you. But this is what it looks like. It's not heavy at all. It's very light. It's made out of aluminum. Nice and shiny. And this is the gauge on top. So I haven't read the instructions yet, but when you read in the National Center for Home Food Preservation, they say to not only rely on the instruction manual that comes with it. So that means I'm going to have to do some reading to make sure that I am using this properly. But I do believe the gauge on top is what's going to tell me when I start timing. So there's a gauge, and when it reaches the proper temperature, because we know that when we're water bath canning, we need to get to 212 degrees to make sure to kill off any kind of bacteria or molds that would be growing in our bottles. So I think that when this dial gets up to the green section, I don't know if you can see it, but when the dial gets up to the green part, that's when the timing will start. And then you just time it for the same amount of time that you would your regular foods, always keeping in mind those altitude adjustments that you need to make. The rack to go in the bottom. And the bottom part. So this is actually the bottom part, what your jars are going to be sitting in. The rack, the jars will be sitting on top of the rack, and then your cover. So there you have it, my brand new steam canner. Looking very forward to making my first recipe in it. Now what am I going to be doing? If you have any suggestions on what I could make, put them in the comment section. Otherwise, I'm going to try and find, not sure, a recipe maybe for a relish or a pizza sauce, or I'm not quite sure yet. So I'll have to see what I want to try in my canner first. If you like this content, if you'd like to see more, don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button at the bottom of the screen so you'll be notified as soon as I have new content coming out. And stay tuned for new things I'll be bringing in my steam canner.